Welcome back to Benny's Custom Works, proudly supported by Valvoline and Sparesbox. Don't forget Benny 5 on checkout. This week, we are back on the Lexus IS200 thing. If you guys didn't see last episode, we were at Pheasantwood Raceway with this. It didn't have any oil pressure, and about 2 hours through the day, I had an epiphany that we had the exact same issue the previous time we were at that track. So we got back and tore the thing apart, pulled the oil pump apart. A little bit inconclusive on the findings, but we're going to put a new oil pump and a new oil pickup O-ring in the car today. We do have a different brand of oil pump because we have had a few niggling issues with oil pressure with that brand with two different pumps now. So yeah, we're looking to hopefully change that, and we are going to put a high pressure spring in a GM style pump. And we do have a genuine GM oil pickup O-ring as well. We also have a 2-bolt brace for the oil pickup. We did previously use one of those, however, the company Brintec, who supplied the oil pump for us this time around, supplied a new one, so we're going to put that in. So let's start cleaning things off and replacing gaskets and putting the whole engine back together and pulling cross members out and all sorts of fun stuff because the car had to come off the hoist and now it's back on. Long story, let's do it. Like hear it going all the way to the bottom of the bore.
Yeah.
The other one definitely didn't do that. So that valve is it basically is like the oil pressure regulator. There we are, pickup clamp spacer. Because the GM pickups, for whatever reason, even though there's a 2-bolt flange on the pump, predominantly they only supply it with a single bolt to retain it. So sometimes the pickup can actually walk out of the pump. So this clamps down on the flange of the pickup. And it also sandwiches the bolt hole on the side that does exist. And then yeah, you've got the nice little standoff there that then crushes it down. This particular one's a Crocam's one, but about 7 million people make the same one and then just etch their name into it. So who knows who actually makes it. There's obviously no O-ring on this at the moment, but for ease of demonstration, it will go like that. So this will actually sandwich the pickup and stop it. This is obviously over exaggerated, but there's potential that it could flex and vibrate in the car in high RPM applications, and it could actually pull air and cavitate through that backside of the pump. Replace timing cover gasket, because why not? In the bin now.
Like nails on a chalkboard.
You love it.
I wonder if that's going to be a dying saying now, like nails on a chalkboard. Kids wouldn't know what a chalkboard is.
Like a hammer through an iPad.
I feel obliged to tell you you've got a little bit of grease on your forehead.
Thanks.
Did you already know that?
No.
Do you just assume that you've got grease on your
I
face
don't
at all
really
times?
care either way. Being not a mechanic, not a fashion model, I don't think it really matters. Is that better? Now what I'm going to do here is actually pull the pump gear and the pump cover off and mount the pump to the engine and actually make sure I've got clearance around the back of the pump. The pump actually can run on the crank. So that previous pump that we had that we've now removed actually has witness marks on the back of the pump in the crankshaft bore of the pump where it's been running on the crank. So the bolts are obviously oversized in hindsight so that you can center the pump on the crank. So we're going to do that so that we don't have any more issues, and then we don't have metal on metal rubbing either and induce more metal into the oil system. Interestingly, this casting and the other brand casting seem to be the same. It looks like they use the same casting and then modify it at their factory or whatever. We'll at least get it in there and have a look at how it all sits, see what sort of tolerance we've actually got around the crankshaft, because it could be quite small. Wow, that's scary.
Your spidey sense is tingling.
Need to clean this out. It's all yuck from cleaning anti-seize off bolts. So it looks like a metallic paint.
You doing that on purpose?
No.
I knew I should.
I mean, I need to do it, but
yeah.
I'm like, are you dying?
Oh, only a little bit.
Just slow and painful death, not a quick one.
I'm just more disappointed I let it slip that noise bugged me. Because now I'm not sure if you're just exaggerating it.
I can't do anything to control it.
Like a DJ on the decks. Oh yeah.
That's not what I wanted to happen.
Just clean it and throw it on the ground.
No, you're not wearing gloves with brake cleaner.
Yeah, you are. They're just clear gloves. Food grade.
Most double row timing chain kits for LS will come with these oil pump spacers. It's very critical that you fit this correctly. It can probably go on both ways. So make sure obviously that you're lining up that port with the port on the pump, because it does literally pump oil through that plate. And the other side is literally just a flat spacer. So if you were to get these the wrong way around, you're just gonna have a massive void pumping oil just back into the timing cover, and you're gonna have no oil pressure at all. So yeah, definitely worth thinking about if you are putting one of these together yourself at home, especially for the first time. You don't want to blow your stuff up. Don't want to blow it up either. You can blow it up. Especially if you're in New Zealand.
Nice pickup.
Yeah, so that tolerance is very tight. But you most definitely can sit the pump on the crank. Is there even a procedure? Probably. When you're an LS expert, not like myself, all the LSologists are just screaming at the screen right now, going, "You're doing it wrong!" Probably. Let's Google it.
So you didn't need to take that cover off?
Nope.
Yeah, right.
But I just wanted to do that to visually see what sort of clearance we had.
Yeah, fair.
But yes, further to your question, no, we didn't need to take that off. And all we need to do is basically bolt the pump on finger tight, wind the engine over 360 degrees, which will apparently align the gears to the pump body, and then we're good to nip it up and continue the reassembly. This chrome bolt's definitely seen better days. Oh, that's odd.
It's not in gear or anything?
Well, that's what I'm thinking, it might be in gear. I hope it's in gear, because if not, we're dead in the water. Oh, there we go. It must just be right on compression. But see the fact that it's rocking, that's compression, not like engine.
Right. That's crazy. I never thought it would make like bicycle hub sounds. So that feels okay to you now?
Yeah, it's fine. It feels like it's compression tight, not bearing tight. And the reason I say that is because when you spin it, you're naturally getting, the crank wants to rotate backwards because it's decompressing the cylinder effectively. Went out and bought this awesome crank pulley reinstaller tool. It doesn't work with LS's. Oh. It does now, but I had to make another piece. So these are like adapters that screw into the crank. And unfortunately the thread on an LS crank is like back here. So I had to make that. So that's got the thread of the crank on that end and the pulley tool on that end. So it's gonna, you can see just how much shorter it is.
Yeah, wow.
It's not perfectly straight, but I think it'll do the job. So this is like the whole dampener installer remover. And it's really nice because it's got like a proper thrust bearing in there rather than just being metal on metal. So it's probably one of the better kits. I saw one of these in the US. I think it was at Harrell Engine and Dyno actually, a HED. And yeah, we used that. Yeah, it was, because we used that to pull the damper off the spare Cresta engine that launched itself, that we then rebuilt and put into Ben's Mustang before Drag Week 19. Oh, that was a time in my life I don't want to relive.
I can see the trauma in your eyes.
Wasn't fun. Go, go, Power Rangers. What?
Is that fresh in your mind?
Yeah.
Do your kids watch that?
Nah, group chat things from when I was a kid.
Ah.
Someone posted something in the group chat, or one of the group chats the other day, about Power Rangers, which I never actually watched it as a child. Wasn't my jam.
Yeah, fair.
I wasn't a Power Rangers kid.
Yeah. Looking back on it, I'm just like, how was I?
Were you a Power Rangers kid?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I hate to
right.
admit it though.
See, I never got around it.
What'd you watch instead?
I don't know. I couldn't even tell you what would have been on at the same time. This is not sealing, it's rubber grease. Relax.
The one you had on.
Well, I think it was correct.
Right.
Because looking at the other one that he sent me, it's way bigger. Like, there's no way it would fit.
What about Johnny Bravo? You ever watch Johnny Bravo?
No, because I think when I was a kid, he was on like Foxtel or Ozstar, because he would have been on Cartoon Network.
Yep. Good guy, that guy. I can't believe. I think we've had this convo, but I don't know. I can't believe they could make a show about a guy picking up girls and make it a kid's show.
Is that what it was about?
That's literally what it's about. It's about a guy that just goes around saying these cheesy pickup lines.
Nice.
Bring it back, I say.
Gian supports the Johnny Bravo movement.
What do you think the opposite of ASMR video would be called?
RMAS.
Well, it feels like we're making one of those right now.
Just because you don't like it. There could be some dude just absolutely foaming right now that we're making like razor blade on aluminium noises.
Is that person you?
I don't care either way. I still don't know why all the genuine GM parts, when you get them here, they say for export use only. Like, I wonder if it's like a taxation-based thing, like maybe they make so many export parts per year or something, like maybe they'll get a tax break or... A friend messaged me and said, I'll check the height of the pickup to see how close it is to the pan, the base of the pan.
That's a good thought.
10 millimeters without the gasket to 12 mil. He said you want at least 8 millimeters, so I think we're sweet. And nothing can go wrong. The engine didn't fall out. I did flick it and say it's not going anywhere. Just gonna put that out there. So we've got all the fluids in it. We've just disconnected the all the injectors. Now we're going to crank it over to get oil pressure and then make it run. And I think I'm just going to hook the injectors up and send it. Still think it might be same, eh? This is why I play golf. Something's still not happy. I feel like it's probably a reasonable thing to go, should we just check the oil pressure? Just throw a gauge on it. Can you bring the revs up?
Off?
Yeah, it's still the same. Well, not really the outcome I was hoping for. The oil pressure is still low. I don't really know what the way forward is at the moment. We're probably going to have to pull the engine back out and tear it apart again. Yeah, I'm kind of lost for answers. It's bloody annoying, to be honest. I don't really understand I don't understand why we have low oil pressure, because the bearing clearances I think are still fine. Like, there's no metal in the oil or anything weird like that. Doesn't make noises, doesn't have any rattles or any weird stuff. But yeah, I guess it remains to be seen. I'm on the fence if I'll do this motor carner or not with the car, because it probably would be fine at low RPM. Like, it's not going to be a high RPM type event. So I'm still tossing up whether I go with the car or not, because there's absolutely no way we're going to be able to turn it around and repair it in a week and a half. So yeah, and then I guess the other thing is we don't actually know what the answer is. So yeah, LSologist, please feel free to yell at me in the comments. I guess if you're not currently subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing for more LS powered disappointment like this. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.